After the giant sliced off Yuri Orlov's barrier, there was nothing left to stop the giants from moving forward. The colossal giant grabbed him and completely swallowed him whole. And just like that, it began. The elimination of humanity. The giants spread across Japan, leaving destruction in their wake. The cities fell, people were slaughtered, and humanity's last hope of survival began to disappear. With Japan on the verge of complete annihilation, Jin Wu finally decided to make his move. He appeared on national television and delivered a message that shocked the entire world. He would enter the battlefield himself and eliminate every last giant. As the Ajin Guild's mission finally begins, Japan has already suffered a devastating loss. The streets are filled with the wounded. Civilians are crying for help while soldiers desperately do everything they can to save as many lives as possible. But the situation is quickly becoming impossible to control. As one of the soldiers tells the doctors that there's no more space to transport everyone to the hospital. We can only take 3 or 4 patients at a time. The doctors stare at him in disbelief. You've got to be kidding. We have more than 10 patients who are unable to move. Seeing the situation, the soldiers have no choice but to be harsh. Every second they remain exposed puts their lives at risk. We cannot afford to worry about people who might die at any moment. You will die if you stay. But the doctors refuse to leave. They know the danger, but as doctors, abandoning the wounded simply isn't an option. Their priority is clear: save as many people as they can. Seeing how determined the doctors are, the soldier has no choice but to side with them. But before they can even move, a horrifying sight appears right in front of them. 2 terrifying giants stand there with bloodlust blazing in their eyes, their gaze locked onto them. One of them even has a soldier in his mouth. Without a moment of hesitation, the soldiers unleash a relentless barrage of bullets. But their attacks have absolutely no effect. As one giant suddenly reaches out his massive hand to grab the doctors, a soldier steps forward to protect them, knowing he has little chance of surviving. Just when all hope seems lost, a spear suddenly comes flying through the air, piercing straight through the giant's chest and sending him flying before he crashes to the ground, left motionless and lifeless. The Shadow Army has arrived. Jima protecting the humans. The soldiers are left stunned. Before they can even process what just happened, a voice suddenly echoes from behind them. This is too dangerous. We'd better move out of here. This place is too close to the hospital. At that exact moment, a huge stone falls from the top of the building. Jinho steps in just in time, raising his shield and blocking the debris before it can reach them, saving the 2 doctors. He tells Jin Wu that he'll stay behind and help evacuate the people to safety. Trusting Jinho to handle the evacuation, Jin Wu summons his dagger. Now, it's time to start the massacre. In an instant, one of his shadow soldiers charges forward, driving his spear straight through the giant's chest and smashing him to the ground. Jin Wu launches forward at such speed, running across the shadow soldier's back. He leaps forward and appears directly in front of the giant's face. With a single swing, he slices straight through his face, completely splitting the giant in 2. While Jin Wu continues tearing through the giants, the scene suddenly shifts. Elsewhere, a group of hunters are gathered, casually discussing Jin Wu's decision to enter Japan, mocking him. As one of the hunters says that since Lady Selner didn't break Jin Wu's limiter, he went to Japan only to dig a grave for himself. He'll die. All of our powers have been upgraded by Lady Selner. He should know very well that an ordinary hunter's abilities are limited. Anyway, he's a reawakened, right? As the second hunter wears a smug grin, clearly amused by Jin Woo's situation. He's definitely getting carried away with his strength. Does he really think those bugs from Jeju Island are equal to these giants? Every hunter who overestimates himself is eventually bound to get killed. I bet my yacht that he'll be dead within a day. The three hunters continue laughing as they place their bets on Jinwoo's death. Until a calm voice suddenly cuts through the conversation. Are you sure about that? The laughter immediately dies down. Sitting behind them is none other than Thomas Andre. He has decided to join into their little conversation. I'll bet the Scavenger Guild's building that he'll survive. Anyways, you should focus on the S-rank gate that spawned on our side. The dungeon break is tomorrow. I wonder how many of us here will survive. His words hit them straight to the guts. The hunters fall silent, clearly irritated. One of them mutters, "This guy always does a great job of spoiling the mood." But Thomas isn't finished. He stares toward the massive red gate looming outside, and then he delivers an even more unsettling fact. The dungeon break in Japan might actually be less of a threat than the one we're about to face. Back in Japan, the news reporters can barely believe what they're witnessing in front of them. The battlefield has turned into a nightmare. The shadow soldiers are swarming the giants. Behaving like insects, they crawl across their skin, tearing into them and devouring them alive. But the disaster is far from over. A young girl runs through the chaos, crying and desperately trying to escape. A massive hand looms over her, drawing closer with every second. Just inches away from grabbing her, a flash of lightning suddenly tears through the air. The giant's arm is severed instantly. Blood erupts from the wound as the giant unleashes a horrifying scream. And standing between the giant and holding the terrified child is Igris, leaving a trail of lightning in his wake,
protecting the child.
Before the giant can even recover, iron appears right above his face. Without hesitation, he smashes the giant's skull with such a devastating force, sending powerful shockwaves throughout the battlefield. As the giant finally comes crashing down, Igris looks at Iron, almost wondering why he never holds back. What a show-off. Iron looks at them and smiles. The kid is finally in the hands of the protectors now, as Igris Gentle puts her down. Meanwhile, Jin Wu watches everything unfold from a distance, watching Iron's performance with a calm expression. Looks like Iron's excited because of his promotion. Well, he's doing his job well, so it's all good. Nearby, one of the soldiers Jin Wu had just saved approaches him. The soldier bows his head and deeply thanks him. But before he even can finish, Jin Wu suddenly raises his hand and gives him a thumbs up. "You. Good. Brave soldier." The soldier is left speechless. Those simple words from Jin Wu mean more to him than he could have imagined. Jin Wu then asks Jin Ho to help the evacuation together with the soldier, as Jin Ho immediately follows his brother's orders, joining the soldier to help evacuate the civilians. With that out of the way, Jin Woo's expression changes. The warmth disappears. His eyes settle on the massive giant lying motionless before him. Silence falls.
Arise.
At that moment, the scene shifts to the association building in Japan, where one of the workers shouts in shock. A giant's corpse has been discovered in Nakatsugawa. Shizuoka has also been recovered. Takayama and Nagano as well. Hearing this, the chairman is left completely stunned. He can barely believe what he's hearing. How is this possible? Goto was right. Those eyes when I first saw him at the airport. I have met a countless number of hunters, but none of them has ever been anywhere near as powerful. The chairman remembers his first meeting with Jin Wu. on his mission to eliminate the giants in Japan. Sweat begins to drip down the chairman's face. Just Jinwoo's presence alone is enough to terrify him. Pleasure to meet you. We are in a dire situation, so I hope you'll understand that I'll get straight to the point. The giants are currently heading to Osaka. Please prioritize on defending Osaka.
Even while saying all that,
The chairman still doubts just how powerful Jin Wu really is. No matter how strong he is, he won't be able to defeat all those giants. While he's holding them off, we need to negotiate with other countries. Jinwoo tells them straight without hesitation,
I refuse.
leaving them completely shocked. The chairman asks Jinwoo what he's planning to do to them. Fear then fills his face when he realizes the truth. No way. He's actually planning on taking out all those giants by himself? But that was my original plan.
The scene shifts back to the present, where Jin Wu stands quietly, processing everything.
In front of him stand 5 giants, now part of his shadow army, patiently waiting for their king to name them. But Jin Wu seems to have run out of names to give them. So, with zero creativity, he simply names them number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. Just as he finishes, Baru suddenly appears and kneels before his king.
My king, I have defeated another one.
Jinwoo doesn't even hesitate anymore. He simply names the 6th giant number 6 and moves on. With the naming finally done, Jinwoo tells Jinho that he'll be using Shadow Exchange to travel across Japan, eliminating the remaining giants and turning them into even more soldiers. As for Jinho, he seems to be enjoying himself. He should be perfectly safe on his own, and judging by his reaction, he doesn't seem to mind at all. Meanwhile, Jinwoo's shadow soldiers are already spread across Japan, hunting down each and every giant. Thanks to Jinwoo's massive mana reserves, drawn-out battles are practically guaranteed victories. The giants can't keep up with an army that constantly regenerates. They wear the giants down, then tear through their bodies with ease. But the disaster is far from over. The S-rank dungeon break has triggered even more dungeon breaks across Japan. Lower-tier monsters are now flooding the cities alongside the giants, forcing the military to handle evacuations and monster subjugation at the same time. And by the 7th night, Japan has become a scene of total destruction. As Jinwoo and Jinho continue walking, a familiar voice suddenly speaks out. It's Hanakawa, and now relief to finally see Jinwoo in Japan. Jinwoo immediately asks if there are still any hunters left in the area. Hanakawa's expression turns grim. The number of lives lost in the disaster is simply unbearable. The giants have already wandered into other parts of Japan, leaving destruction wherever they go. Among the casualties was Yuri Orlov, who tragically failed to hold the gate and was swallowed alive by one of the giants. Jinwoo falls silent. Hanakawa then reveals that 3 S-rank hunters have already been killed, along with countless A-rank hunters. A total of 31 giants emerged from the dungeon break, and one has reportedly already crossed the sea toward China. But thanks to Jinwoo, most of them have been eliminated. His shadow army is still hunting the remaining giants alongside the surviving hunters. After she finished with her report, Jinwoo suddenly locks his gaze onto a giant sitting in the distance in front of him. The colossal giant. The very same monster that got Yuri Orlov swallowed whole. Standing high above the ruined city, a familiar feeling kicks in. The view. Although it's not burning down the dilapidated city, this view reminds him of the Demon Castle. If the ruined city of the Demon Castle was a hint from the system, I wonder what the architect wanted to tell me. The architect is already dead and gone, And since there hasn't been anything from him since then, that may have been his real body.
Even if the demon castle is a hint of the future,
I just need to stop it from happening. That's why I attained this strength. As soon as Jin Wu finishes processing everything, he turns to Hanakawa beside him.
everyone is here. Let's begin.
But Hanakawa is confused, wondering if Jinwoo really just wants to drag her to her death. But Jinwoo remains completely calm. Then, at that exact moment, the shadows begin to move. One after another, the shadow soldiers slowly stand at the top of the crumbled buildings. With every single soldier, the atmosphere grows heavier. Their overwhelming presence spreads across the battlefield, suffocating everything around them. Tusk, Iron, and Igris step forward and drop to one knee before their king. Every single monster, every beast. One after another, they make their way onto the battlefield. Jima and Tank soon join the others, lowering themselves before their master.
From high above,
Baru descends at terrifying speed. He crashes onto the ground, landing on one knee before immediately bowing to his king. Jin Wu watches his entire army gather before him. A satisfied smile slowly appears on his face.
you're all here now. Good work, everyone.
Thank you, my liege.
Jinwoo turns his attention to Jinho and tells him to keep a distance together with Hanakawa. Understanding the situation, they immediately follow the orders.
Arise.
A massive shadow slowly erupts from the ground. From within the darkness, the newly awakened shadow giants emerge, towering over the battlefield and ready for war. And just like that, the entire battlefield is consumed by an overwhelming darkness. The Shadow Army. Jinwoo raises his hand, then gives his army a command.
My soldiers, charge. And just like that, Baru unleashes a deafening screech sound that shakes the battlefield. His bloodlust erupts as his animal instincts kick in. War. The shadow soldiers tear through the ground as they charge forward without hesitation. A massive wave of darkness surges across the battlefield, charging forward like a tsunami as the entire shadow army rushes straight toward the colossal giant. But the giant doesn't flinch. He simply locks his gaze on the approaching army. With one devastating swing, he speed blitzes across the battlefield, slicing through countless shadow soldiers in an instant. Strength. Shocking, Jinwoo. What incredible power. A single swing took out more than hundreds of my soldiers. His sheer size is enormous. The mana he's emanating is enough to make me run away as fast as I can. He agitated me. How could such a being even exist? There are two ways to get rid of agitation. You could make a run for it and forget about it, or get rid of it entirely. At that moment, Tusk unleashes a devastating attack from his mouth, hurling it straight toward the colossal giant. But the giant simply raises one hand and catches the attack with his bare palm. At that exact moment, the giant shadow soldier comes swinging his massive axe. Still holding Tusk's attack in one hand, the colossal giant swings his enormous sword with the other, slicing the shadow giant clean in half. Without hesitation, a swarm of ants rushes forward, crawling over the giant's massive foot. But he simply swings his foot, kicking them all, sending the ants flying in every direction. Seeing this, Baru's blood boils with rage as he prepares to charge. But before he can move, Jinwoo stops him.
Not yet. This much is within my expectation. I've got enough mana to spare. I'll need to press the attack a bit more to figure out his weakness.
The colossal giant crashes through the shadow soldiers like they're nothing more than bugs. Every attack they throw at him is only doomed to fail. He cuts through soldier after soldier with terrifying ease, while Jinwoo's mana begins dropping rapidly. Then Jinwoo notices something. A thick layer of the giant's mana is covering his body like armor. That must be why he never bothers to defend himself. Confidence. Jinwoo summons Kaizel. It's time to join the battle himself, together with Baru and Igris. Baru bursts forward with such speed, with Igris and Jinwoo riding on Kaizel as they charge into the battlefield. In an instant, Baru appears directly in front of the giant's face and delivers a devastating strike. But the giant dodges. Kaizel closes the distance from above. Igris raises his sword before unleashing a devastating swing. A powerful flash of lightning tears through the air toward the giant. But once again, he simply dodges. I knew it. At that exact moment, the colossal giant counters with another devastating attack, hurling straight for them. The attack lands and completely pulverizing them. Victory. But then, Igris suddenly appears right on top of his shoulder, sprinting toward his face at full speed. With a massive swing, he unleashes a powerful lightning charge straight toward the giant's face. At the very last second, the giant raises his hand and blocks it. At that exact moment, through the blinding flash of light, Jin Wu appears like a ghost and slices straight through the giant's eyes at such speed before landing on his shoulder. For the first time, the colossal giant is hurt. Jin Wu smiles. Just as I thought. With perfect sync with his king, Baru's claws come tearing across the giant's face with such a blinding speed, slicing him across the eyes. And with his soldiers fighting alongside him, death has come for the lone giant. Ruler's authority. A barrage of blades tears across the giant's face, slicing through his eye and carving deep into every muscle. From the distance, this is no longer a battle between a hunter and a monster. It's a battle between two powerful monsters. As the daggers tear through his eyes, fear finally takes hold. Death itself stands before him, staring straight into his soul. There's no escape. It's inevitable. Mutilation. He dashes forward at such incredible speed and appears right on his eye. Leading with a barrage of blades aimed straight at the giant's eye, the blades tear into him as the giant screams in pain. At that exact moment, Jin Wu calls out to Baru.
Your wish is my command.
Baru comes flying in at incredible speed, diving straight into the giant's wounded eye. The giant lets out a horrifying scream again as Jin Wu follows up with a relentless barrage of attacks. From within, Baru tears through the giant's body, ripping through everything in his path. The giant begins coughing up blood. His enormous body trembles. And finally, the colossal giant crashes down onto his knees. A system message pops up. The enemy has been defeated. You have leveled up. Jinwoo stands quietly with his hands in his pockets, his loyal knight standing beside him. Jinho comes running over, excited as ever, celebrating another victory for his brother. But Jinwoo can't seem to shake the feeling of something is not right. The message he was expecting never appears. The message that says you have killed the owner of the dungeon, which can only mean one thing. The raid isn't over. And there's something else. No black smoke is coming from the giant's body, meaning Jinwoo can't use shadow extraction on him. Then, suddenly, Jinwoo senses something.
He immediately stops Jinwoo in his tracks and summons his dagger, ready to strike. From inside the giant's mouth, something slowly emerges.
My king, it is I.
It's Baru, floating in the air as he lowers his head respectfully before his king.
Jinwoo lets out a sigh of relief.
No, it's just you.
His magical energy is powerful enough to mask Baru's presence, even though he's dead. He was sure powerful. At that exact moment, the gate suddenly erupts, releasing a powerful shockwave. Baru immediately steps in front of his king, shielding him from the wave, while Igris moves to protect Jinwoo. A storm of overwhelming magical energy emits from within the gate. Jinwoo glances back to make sure Jinwoo is safe, only to find him standing safely behind his loyal knight. The gate then starts as absorbing the giant's magical energy. Jinwoo looks at the gate in disbelief. To think I got a cut just from the mana alone. This has never happened before. Whatever is inside that gate, it's clearly not normal. Jinwoo turns to Jinwoo. Stay here. I'll be back. Without wasting another second, he dashes forward at full speed, charging straight through the gate. The moment he reaches the other side, he's stunned. The place is enormous. Baru suddenly appears next to him.
My king, do you hear that? That's one sinister laugh.
Jinwoo wonders to himself. Is having your enemies invade your gate that funny? What an odd one. Without wasting any time, he moves deeper into the massive building. With every step he takes, the mysterious laughter grows louder and louder.
How amusing indeed. Oh, you detestable rulers. Witness who has found me first. Welcome, Monarch.
At that moment, Jinwoo stands in front of him, wondering if this truly is the dungeon boss.
The chains. Free me from these chains. I know what the rulers are planning. The other monarchs must know quickly.
But before he can even speak any further, he suddenly realizes that this is not the shadow monarch he knows. Rage fills his face. Jinwoo then asks him if the rulers are the ones responsible for chaining him up. The monster reveals that they are trying to use him as a stepping stone for the foundations of the true ones that is to come. For the first time, Jinwoo finally found the one who can actually communicate. He isn't going to waste this opportunity. He is ready to uncover the truth behind everything. Who are these rulers you speak of? The monster tells him that the rulers are ancient enemies of the monarchs. Jinwoo begins to question himself. Enemies of the monarchs? Does that mean they are my enemy too? So, if they change you up like this, that must mean...
Yes, I too am a monarch. All the monarchs and the rulers most likely have you on their sights. As you are now, you do not possess the strength to face them all. You require support.
Jinwoo went along and asks, support?
Release me from my seal. I will help you.
But Jinwoo senses that something isn't right here.
You'll help me?
You, a monster, will help me, a human? Do you really expect me to believe that?
Then I shall make you believe me.
Just then, he suddenly starts speaking in an unfamiliar language, one that Jinwoo doesn't understand. Then, a system message pops up. King of Giants has activated the skill. Pledge of Honesty deal. Both the initiator and acceptor cannot lie to one another until the contract is terminated. Will you accept? Jinwoo takes a moment and thinks about it. Then, he accepts. The monarch then asks Jin Wu to release him from the seal. After that, he will help him. Jin Wu still doesn't trust him. However, he speaks, telling the monarch that he trusts him. But his voice suddenly mutes. Shocked. The monarch then tells him that this is the power of the pledge of honesty. The curse prevents anyone from lying. But Jin Wu is not done yet. He still has some questions he needs answers for.
Why is it possible to freely converse with you, unlike other monsters? However, the monarch is confused by what Jin Wu said. What does he actually mean by monsters?
Jin Wu explains that by monsters he means the ones that come out of the gate.
Ah, you mean the denizens of the chaos world. Well, I also have a question. How could you even think of placing mere denizens of the chaos world on the same pedestal as the monarchs who rule over them? All the denizens of the chaos world that emerge from the gates are remnants of defeated armies, those who have been captured after losing to the armies of rulers. Because they have spent an eternity in captivity, it's no surprise that their sense of self is destroyed. However, I am a king. Unlike them, I have retrained my sanity. I have been patiently waiting for the fated day when I can escape from their grasps. And now, here we are, you and me.
When you said the armies of rulers, do you mean the ones clad in silver armor with wings on their backs?
Correct. They are the soldiers of the rulers.
Why do those rulers keep sending those monsters at us?
Like I said, they are preparing for a war. They intend to transform this world into a battlefield and fight the monarchs once again.
But Jin Wu doesn't seem to understand how sending the monsters turns Earth into a battlefield. The monarch then clarifies.
It's simple. It's all to inject magical energy into your world. There is no better way to propagate non-existent power than using the blood of those who possess power. So, the rulers decided to use their captives. Magical energy empowers the world. Their plan is to create a world strong enough to withstand the effects of war. Another battle between the monarchs and the rulers, it's on its way. Soon enough, the world you live in will become hell. There is no time. When it is known that you and I have made contact, both the monarchs and the rulers will intervene. It's even possible that the rulers' envoys have already begun to move.
You keep speaking as if those bastards are out to get me. Why is that?
You really don't know anything, do you? The power you possess isn't actually yours. The fact that you possess it is proof that the original owner has betrayed the monarchs. You've become an enemy to both the monarchs and the rulers. However, I alone swear that I will fight along your side. So will you help me?
However, Jin Wu is not having it.
If you're going to be on my side, it'd be better if I were to simply turn you into a shadow soldier. For a moment, the monarch suddenly sees the old shadow monarch he knew. Terror fills the monarch's eyes as he stares at the ghost standing before him. He then explains to Jin Wu that both monarchs and rulers possess spiritual bodies. Therefore, they cannot be turned into a shadow soldier. After every information he gave Jin Wu, he begs him to release him from this seal. Jin Wu summons his dagger and gets ready to release him. However, he has an uneasy feeling in his heart. Something doesn't feel right. As he approaches the monarch, he asks if the monarch really meant his words. But the monarch, without hesitation, he confirms it and tells him that this is a fair, absolute deal between two monarchs. With his daggers, Jin Wu breaks the chains. However, the monarch still can't shake the feeling that he saw the shadow monarch he knew inside Jin Wu. Before he can completely break all the chains, Jin Wu suddenly pauses and asks one final important question.
Are you on humanity's side?
The monarch remains silent.
Why won't you answer? Is it because of the pledge of honesty?
Jin Wu suddenly notices something at the back of the monarch's neck.
The mana crystal embedded on the back of your neck. As long as that's there, you'd also hear the ruler's voice. Kill all humans, just like the other monsters.
The monarch realizes he's been caught. At that exact moment, he suddenly raises his hand and strikes straight toward Jin Wu's face. But with ease, Jin Wu simply moves his head aside.
Forget about the deal.
He dives his dagger straight into the monarch's chest.
It's too dangerous to keep you alive, since you might become a calamity.
No, you're wrong. The calamity isn't me, but you.
Seeing an opening, the monarch suddenly opens his jaws wide, attempting to bite Jin Wu's head off, but Jin Wu effortlessly dodges. In the same motion, he tears Monarch's chest with his dagger. The monarch starts spitting blood from his mouth. In a desperate attempt, the monarch throws another powerful punch at Jin Wu. But Jin Wu dodges once again and counters with a devastating barrage of stabs, tearing into the monarch's chest until the monarch finally gives in, sitting there, hopeless.
As the battles between the residents of your world and the captured denizens of Chaos World become more intense, your world will turn into a harsher battlefield. I hope that everything you wish to protect will burn into ashes in the conflagration of the war.
That won't happen.
At that exact moment, Jin Wu speed blitzes and cleanly severs the monarch's head. The system notification finally pops up. You have defeated the Dungeon Master. You have defeated the Monarch of Beginning Regia, one of the 9 monarchs. Level up. Level 122. And as he slowly walks out of the dungeon, another system message pops out. Due to the large amount of EXP received, additional time may be taken.
It's a shame I didn't obtain a Shadow Soldier, but I'll take this as my prize.
And that's the end of this chapter. How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the worst chapter you've ever read, and 10 being an absolute masterpiece. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you're enjoying these solo leveling recaps, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next chapter.